Good morning. This is your local neighborhood hope dealer and the host of the 90 and 90 podcast. We took this week off to create a trailer for our podcast. We're coming back next week, moving and grooving, baby. We got our first female guest. Her name is Vanessa. She has an amazing story, and we're so blessed to have her on the show and to share her experience, her strength, and her hope. She has helped so many women out and so many lives in recovery, and we're so thankful for that. Today, I want to share a little story. I want to be very transparent about everything in my life so we can help save lives. Today I wanted to share about how Adderall started everything for me, how it disguised itself as heaven and it took me straight to hell. These are prescription drugs given to us by the government, and they slyly and they're crafty, and they move themselves into your life, and they will hijack your brain, and you will continue to believe that you need that to function on this planet. For me, my first 28 years, I smoked weed and I drank alcohol just after games. Mostly smoked weed after games, and I was moving up in baseball and I was doing well. I struggled with anxiety. I had no higher power. I constantly future tripped. That was a big thing. I had no faith and I had no grace, and this is what I have now since I walked with the Lord. But I was started hearing guys around the locker room talking about this pill called Adderall, how great it made them feel, how they would be hungover and it would bring them back to life, and they felt so good when they were on it. And I kept hearing this, but I wasn't reacting on it. But definitely, if somebody would have offered it to me, I probably would have took it, but I just didn't like to ask people for things. I've had a hard time asking people for things my whole entire life. But I ended up going to the stadium at 28 years old, and I do share this because this is where it all started. I had a brand new Toyota Tundra. I had an amazing place I was living at. I was making good money. I was headed to the big leagues, and everything in my life looked great. I just was ungrateful, and I couldn't see how blessed I was because I did not walk with the Lord. I didn't see my blessings. I was continuing to try to chase earthly pleasures, which always ends with the well dry. So I'm at the stadium, and one of my teammates offers me this pill, Adderall. It's a 30 milligram amphetamine salts that I put into my body, and they have young kids on this. This drug hijacked my brain at 28 years old. When I was headed in one direction, it literally hijacked my brain and thought that I needed it for the rest of my life to feel good, because it felt so good at first. I put it in my body and my arm felt good. I felt like the void, the God-shaped void, was filled for a while. It felt so amazing. And at first, the next day after I took this drug, I felt so great that night. I struck out 12 in 4 innings. I drank all night. I had no hangover. I wasn't walking with God, so I thought this pill was like the limitless pill. Well, hey, there's nothing out there that's going to save you but the Lord. And I believe this with my whole heart. But I end up getting prescribed to this drug by the doctor, by a psychiatrist, like 2 days later, and now I'm prescribed to it, and now I'm taking it as the prescription says. But then I want to feel good in the morning. Then I want to feel good in the afternoon. Oh, then I want to feel good at night. So I start taking way more than I should be prescribed. So now my brain starts taking me to other doctors and finding other doctors. And now I'm taking ephedrine in Canada, ephedra. I'm taking all these things, and now I'm doing more drugs. Now I'm doing Oxycontin. Now I'm caught in this horrible, disastrous mess because it disguised itself as heaven. I thought I was doing the right thing. I thought I was taking prescription drugs that the government was giving me, but it wasn't. It was a miserable existence, to where after baseball, I tried meth because I had no insurance. Meth felt like Adderall. I thought I could handle that. And then I went on to doing more meth. And then I started shooting meth. And then I started shooting meth and heroin. And this is the vicious cycle that drug addiction can take you down. And now, the last 3 years and 2 months, I got 2 powerful weapons that the Lord has given me. Grace to go from a broken soul on this planet to have the grace to become a man of integrity. And then once I got fulfilled with my integrity, I now have faith. So I can do what I need. I can feel the fear, and I can do it anyways in all aspects of my life. I'm a human being. I struggle. All right, I struggle. I get fear. I get worried sometimes. Sometimes I worry right before the podcast who I'm in an interview, if I'm going to have the right questions. But God always shows up because faith makes a fool of what makes sense. But I just want to share that Adderall came into my life so discreetly, and I thought I was doing the right thing, and it ended up hijacking my brain because of the dopamine, and I thought I needed it for the rest of my life. And it took me, I went to the Salvation Army for a year, and it stripped me from the world. And I was able to turn my life around because of God's grace. And now I have the faith to stay strong and stand tall and be a man of integrity. If you're out there struggling right now and you're out there abusing drugs or alcohol, there's a whole new way of life. You might not see it right now, but you can turn it around. Put God first this moment right now, and you will change your whole perspective. It's a change of perspective that happens that saves your life. It's the change of perspective that you start to believe that it's about who you become and not about what you receive. All right. Hey, I hope we got something out of this. I love sharing the good news, man. I was a lost, absolute junkie 3 years and 2 months ago, and God has fulfilled my soul. And it's my duty now to share the good news, the gospel of how he saved my life. I hope we have a great day. And hey, the next episode of the 90 and 90 is coming out on Monday, and I'm ready to move and groove. And I know you are, and I know you love this. 3, 2, 1. Let's go, baby.